Hi, I'm Alex from This Century, and you're watching Underdog Press.
Hey, I'm Karina from Underdog Press, and we're here with
Alex from This Century.
How's the tour been so far?
The tour has been very good. A lot of the shows have been sold out, but yeah, it's pretty cool just because we're all friends, all these bands, and it's nice not to have that like awkward first week meeting and trying to become friends with other bands sort of thing. So like we just all go out and hang out every night, and everyone's kind of from the same place, so it's been pretty smooth so far.
What has been your favorite memory on this tour so far?
Favorite memory? There's a lot. I mean, Pat's an interesting fellow from the Maine, and he does some pretty outrageous things at times, so I don't think I can actually say what I've seen him do, but I'm just gonna say that, leave it up to your imagination, but Pat with a lack of clothing.
Okay.
There we go.
Have you ever had an embarrassing moment while on tour? Not this tour specifically, but any
in general?
Yeah.
I haven't really had too bad of an embarrassing thing. I once was like, when I was playing bass for the band, I once like swung back and hit Joel with the bass, and I felt really bad, so I just wanted to like touch his face, and then I was like, but I need to play, and it was kind of weird.
What's your favorite song to perform live?
Right now, we play a song called Tiptoe, which is off our new record, Biography of Heartbreak. It's kind of like a mid-tempo, but it's just fun to play live. It's got a good groove to it.
So what was your first musical experience?
Ever?
Yeah.
My first musical experience was probably my dad playing me some really old 70s classic rock music and trying to get me to like it. And he actually bought me a bass guitar when I was really young, like 6 or 8, and I hated it. I never wanted to get into it, but once Sean, my brother, once he started learning guitar from my dad, I got like little brother syndrome, jealousy, and I like, it's like, oh look, Dad, I can play bass too. So it's a little like Partridge Family moment. I think that's probably the oldest memory I have, is just trying to win him over by playing bass.
When did it like hit you that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Surprisingly pretty recent actually. I've always known, like, I mean, I went to a performing arts school for music, and I actually got accepted into Arizona State University for their jazz program, and I had a really good opportunity, but I kind of made up my mind then that I was definitely not wanting to do that style of music, like jazz, and you know, looking for jazz gigs. It's really hard. So I kind of made up my mind then, but just actually as of recent, I would say within the last 6 months to a year, I just kind of decided, like, absolutely no matter what, like there isn't anything, you know, like it's hard to explain, but like if you're doing something, like for you being an interviewer, if you want to do that for sure, and that's what you do, if that's your craft, it's like, take it to the fullest, because this is the only thing I can do. I don't have any other skills, you know, like I could work a 9-to-5 job, but I don't have an actual skill other than this. So for me, it's like, pursue it until you can't do it anymore, or else get out of other people's ways that are trying to do it full time and really make it, because it's a lot of work. Like for any art industry, it's a ton of work, and your competition is just so
really
big.
cutthroat.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, if this is all I got, it's like I want to be, you know, giving it all I got.
Just like me in photography.
Yeah, exactly. So you can definitely relate in that sense. Yeah.
What is your favorite song off your latest release?
There's a song on the record called Sideways, and it's just a cool piece for us. Like we did strings in it, and it came about in an interesting way. Like normally we would write like a riff or have lyrical content and then base the song around that. But this one, it was a lot of programming, like tracks in the studio, and kind of going like brain dead after sitting in the studio programming notes for 12 or 13 hours with the producer Colby. And it just kind of like came about, and finally, once the song was done, it was just so big sounding and it was just really, really good. So that's probably the one for me.
Did you learn anything about yourself throughout the process of making the new album?
Yeah, completely. I learned how to, more or less use recording software just through this record. We went through like 3 phases of this record, which is why it took like a year. And by the 3rd phase of going back and forth to Sacramento, which is like 12 to 14 hours from Arizona, so it's kind of a hassle. By the time we went on the 3rd trip, we had recorded in our home studio, like the bass, the drums, the guitar, track demo vocals, all this stuff in our studio, and then sent it off to Colby, and Joel and Sean only went over that time versus Ryan and I, because everything's already programmed. So it was kind of weird, like we would send off like 4 songs and then they came back and retracked vocals there and like redid the guitars, and then Colby mixed it to sound really good. And it was kind of just the first time we'd ever done that, and first time I've ever done that for sure. And ever since then I've been able to do like recording on my own outside of the band, which is cool, like getting to record other artists for once, which is nice.
Would you ever want to do that, like if you ever, like...
I want to do that forever. I like that just as much as performing or any other asset of, with music. I almost like it more because you can get so nitty gritty with like, I don't like the tone of this, or I don't like that note. You can just change it, I love having that
Control.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So it's kind of like a tradition that we do, that we always ask a zombie question.
Zombie question.
If you were in a zombie apocalypse, what would your weapon of choice be?
Weapon of choice, I'd get pretty vicious with it. Probably like a bat, but more of like a spear. Something sharp at the end, but like the weight of a bat.
Like a sword.
I think you nailed it with the sword, yes. Yes, probably a sword.
So we had one fan question from, on Twitter, Defend Pop Pug.
Oh, what?
Defend Pop Pug.
Okay.
And he asked, if 2 conjoined twins, like
Siamese?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Went to a concert, would they buy 1 or 2 drinks?
Very interesting question. I think they would it's only fair that they would have to pay 1, considering they're 1.
Yeah.
They're 1 unit. But I'm sure Venue would scam them into having to buy 2 tickets, because that's how most venues are.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Any last words for your fans?
Yeah, love all you guys, and if you haven't gotten a chance to come out on the 8123 tour, please do. It's a fun time, and love you guys. Bye.
Whenever you end, I begin. Whenever you end, I begin. Whenever you end, I begin.